Good morning, good evening, good day, whatever it is for you. You see where I'm going? Yep, I've got a new project today. This is, had to drive 3 hours to get this one, but it was really well worth the trip. This is a Hurricane Phoenix 160. It's a 16-foot sea kayak. Got a good deal on it because of this. It was either dropped or bumped or hit or something. You can see where the previous owner attempted to start repairing it. He got a patch kit from the manufacturer. Let's see, there should be a hatch here somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, he got a patch kit from the manufacturer, which is basically 2 big chunks of this white plastic. And he took one piece and kind of started doing this to it. I don't know if he was going to cut that out or what he was planning on doing, but I've got a different plan for it. I've researched ABS plastic, and if you mix it with acetone, there's another little crack right there that's very accessible from this hatch. And I'm thinking that one, I'm gonna, if this acetone mix that I'm actually making it as we speak. If this acetone mix that I'm working with right now works, I'm just gonna fill that in, because I'm actually melting some of this plastic in the acetone. And let me start unhooking this booger. I'm mixing some of this plastic in the acetone, and how do you say? I guess by the time I get to the backyard, it should be melted. So let's get her unhooked and unloaded. Man, I love these little things I made over here. Just little handles. Alright. Not even sure where I tied it first, but the guy seemed pretty cool, so while I was there I gave him a couple of chunks of cutting board, and one of them he said was perfect to use as a fish cleaning station. I hear it, but I don't see it. Fish cleaning station. Got a rudder system on it too. Nice cables. From what I understand, this is about an $1,800 kayak. So really foggy today. Come on. I've already been to, I mean, it's not even 8 o'clock in the morning yet. And I've already been to Home Depot, bought me some acetone. Let's see. This should just go right through there. Oh no, I did loop it through. Anyway, I had to drive all the way to Cuero, Texas. I could have wound up driving all the way to Houston, but the guy was cool enough that Jack was cool enough that he actually met me halfway. And he didn't tell me the name of it, but he owns a boat shop. He just said the name of it. I'd have given him a plug here. Hey, if you watch this, Jack, plug your boat shop down below. I don't get a whole lot of views, but my videos stay up for a long time. Alright. We are not free, we are released. Put this over here. Alright, here we go. The unloading. Let's see, do I want to go this way or do I want to go that way? There we go. There's a bunch of something inside of it. Hey, come over here. Yeah, that's a pretty kayak. Got the rudder system in it. It's weird. Is oh, I see what it is. The scupper actually. Man, that's tight. Shut up. Yeah, we'll make some. Get that off. Let me wrap this wire on here because the strings on the rudder don't look too. Right, how the hell does that work? I don't get it. Oh, now I see what he meant. Rudder system is loose. I'll have to figure that out. I don't know how the hell that works. Oh, is this one of those? Oh. I think it's one of those where when you pull it, it lifts it out. That don't make any damn sense. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I get it. When you pull this, it slides forward. And that stops it. Pretty neat. Might have to steal that idea. Alright, well, it's made by Hurricane Kayaks. I don't know what CFS stands for. It's a Phoenix 160. Looks like it needs a new hook there. Got Scotty mount rod holders. That's actually pretty cool because they're down here. Oh, and I love these. These are adjustable foot pegs that also slide forward and backward for the rudder system. That's what I have in my big kayak. And this one, he said, whatever this is up here, is accessible through this hatch. What's going to be fun over here is this one. Where is it? Oh, it's on the other side. Shoot, I might have to, I should be able to reach it from in here. And I've got a really nice seat that'll fit that. I see one of the pad eyes is broken. Maybe I'll just replace them all with new ones. Looking good, man. Looking good. Doesn't have a handle back here. Oh yeah, it does. So let me drag this up. Well, not drag it. Set the back end over here. Go for a morning drag. So here we go. New project. I might have this one done today. I don't know. Because we're about to go see if my little slurry mix worked. And if it did, I might be able to patch it pretty quick. Like I said, he gave me 2 chunks of this plastic. One of them he's already kind of shaped. Here's my little paintbrush. Let's see what this is doing over here. Well, yeah, look. Whoa. Okay, I'll put you so you can watch what I'm doing. This is already melted. Yeah. I don't know if it's melted, but sure is eating away at it. Look at that. Pretty cool. There's just acetone and a little piece of that plastic. Oh. I think it's supposed to be closed, but this actually works because basically it melts the ABS, and then you use it as a, I don't know what you would call it. I mean, it looks like it's already doing something. Flipping this booger over. All right. Oh crap! That's a big old crack. Oh shit! I didn't even look at that. That was a big old crack. You know what? I can fix it. I can fix it. All I saw was this. I didn't see that. You know what I think happened here? I bet it had water inside of it, and it froze. And when the ice froze, it expanded and cracked it. You know what? I've got a clamp over here somewhere. Let me set this down. Huh. Well, I guess I got a little bit bigger of a project than I expected. He tried to show it to me, and my dumb butt didn't look at it. Anyway, yeah, I mean, he tried to walk me around the front and show it to me. But, where'd that clamp go? I had a clamp over here. Oh, I think it's, hit with this kayak. You see it anywhere? I guess I could use tape. Where's my tape? Oh, you know what? I had some stupid tape I bought. It was supposed to have been aluminum tape, but it wasn't labeled. And she charged me for aluminum tape. Oh, there it is. It's just freaking silver duct tape. That'll work. Alright, where'd my little mixy mix go? Whoa! Alright. We're just over 15 minutes, but I'm going to start the new video for this. Alright, this is what I'm working on right here. Got this crack, and I'm going to put some of this slurry inside the crack and then tape it shut. Just to see if it holds. And if it does hold, good. If it doesn't, that's fine too. I'll figure something out with it. Alright. Let's put you somewhere where you can watch my silliness. That's gonna be okay, not right there. Alright. Yeah, they said this is supposed to have been a aluminum tape, but it's got this stupid stuff on it. Anyway, alright. Alright, let's see what happens here. Hey, it's made of the same stuff, so All I did was add acetone to the same stuff that a kayak is made of. Damn it. Closed over here. Didn't close over there. Oh shoot. I guess that don't matter. Put another piece right here. Where is it? Don't be cheap on the tape, man. Don't be cheap on the tape. Well, a little bit later today, let's see if this actually worked. Imagine that's all it took to fix this. That would be awesome. I'll put some there too. I don't know what the hell kind of tape this is. I mean, it looks like aluminum tape, feels like aluminum tape, but it's got this. I guess it's for air conditioning or something, so you don't have to worry about it. I don't know. Yep. Man. So they say when you're doing this, I think supposed to use MEK, which is methyl ethyl ketone, but you can't find that stuff anywhere. I couldn't find it. They had an MEK substitute at Home Depot, but no damn substitute. All right. That don't look like it's holding very good. Get up, you dumb dog. Get up, you dumb dog. Put a little extra on the top. A little more never hurt. The only thing I didn't do, which I know I'm supposed to do, is drill the little holes in the ends of the cracks to keep the crack from spreading. But see, another thing I can do is I can make this into a real watery slurry. Go through that hatch and pour some in here to where it fills the inside of the crack. Actually, I have access to this on the inside, so let's see what it does, or if it does. Alright, here's what I did. I cut off a couple slices of this and chopped off a corner, chopped it into little pieces, and I picked up all of the little shavings, put them in this jar with some acetone, and it's turning into some sort of a plastic slurry. You can see the little chunks there, what's left of them. But that slurry, or whatever it is, liquid that it's made, it's acetone, but the acetone is going to evaporate really quick. So I put it on the outside, as you saw in the other part of the video, but then I made some more and I poured it on the inside. Yeah, that's evaporating really good, because that was probably that little puddle there was twice as big. There's a bunch of crud in here. It's annoying the crap out of me. But anyway, if it works, it works. Obviously, the manufacturer thinks or knew that this was going to happen. Kayaks were going to crack in the middle. So they added this, whatever the hell this is. It feels soft, but it's some kind of caulking that they put in there. I guess to hold the seam. Didn't hold very well, did it? So I got it tilted up on the fence just to keep the stuff I put in there on the bottom. We'll see later today when I take all this off if it actually held. If that works, that's kind of what I'm going to do over here. I also, where's that? Oh, it's on the other side. I also practice with the. I practice with a piece of this and some wire mesh, and the wire mesh melts in really good. The only problem I have is this is the access I have to here, so I'm probably going to run a wire mesh across here, probably down here first, and then across the top, and see how well that holds it. Yeah. I'm trying to line these up. That's pretty lined up right there. Actually, that's actually pretty smooth right there. Except for right here. Alright. Well, I think those are the only two cracks on it. It's a big old gouge right here. I don't like when they put the stuff on the outside. They need to find a way of getting the words written on the inside. Impregnate the plastic with it. See, like all these bungees are all bad. So I'll probably redo those. This one's rusty. This one's rusty and looks like it's facing another direction. Or I don't know. It looks like some of these things on here look like, oh, they were put on with plastic rivets and then filled with silicone. Shoot. I don't like that. I really like the rudder system. I'm going to make me a rudder system the same way out of PVC. The only thing is I need to find a way of making it to where it... I guess you can deploy it with your paddle. Just reach back with the paddle and whack it. I'll figure something out. But I really, really, really like these because you can adjust your foot pegs and you can still steer with it. This is the same ones that I have in that big kayak. The Harmony ones are just foot pegs. They're not meant for steering because you have to take the little clip out and then this part moves. What I like about these is this whole track moves. I mean, when these manufacturers put them on these damn kayaks, they don't stop and think that they're putting it on a curved surface, and they're kind of hard to move. So the other one over there, I think I did something. I sanded it or did something to it. Oh, I think I added some light grease to it. Anyway, and the design for their scupper holes was stupid too. The actual drain for the scupper holes is like over here in the middle somewhere, right here, under here, and then it's got rubber tubing going from this scupper hole and that scupper hole to the bottom. It's like, why even bother making a stupid scupper hole? Just put two drains in it. That was a dumb design. But alright, thanks for watching. I'm not doing anything with the kayak until I've got the cracks fixed. And this, I don't know if somebody did this crap. I might have some red EVA foam. I'll cut some new seats for this, or a new pad for this. Clean all this crud out with some I'll clean it up with something. It won't be acetone. Yeah, see this just looks like it was slopped on here. Look at this. Silicone. You don't need silicone. Just cut a little piece of rubber, size of the bottom of this, put it in there. Look at this. All this, I don't know. Alright. Alright, let's see how this liquid stuff I put in here doing. Looks like it's drying up pretty good. Actually, that felt like water. Maybe it was. Hey. Was it good? Make it further. It's holding pretty good. I don't like this tape. Not moving. Holding? Don't know how much I trust it, but I was holding. Dang it. Stupid tape. Pop it open. That's solid. Look at that. That is solid. I'll leave it sitting here in the sun. Let it harden some more, but that looks like a good fix. Shut up, you stupid mutt. Looks like it's open a little bit. Pretty cool. This stuff gets kind of floppy. Some of this got mushy on them. I don't know. I'm thinking run wire mesh over this whole thing. Yeah. I mean, that stuff. Stupid tape. I get the tape off, that's no problem. But The crack is held shut. It gets on my fingers. Pretty strong on my fingers. A couple of little blobs here. See them? They're like little bumps. I'll just leave them. Yeah, it looks like it. Maybe if I coat it with that stuff, I don't know, 8-10 times, and just sand it smooth. But I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I want to put my mesh, my wire mesh, along here and melt it into the plastic. We'll try my method first. But I was just beating on it and it didn't come apart. Alright, I kind of did the same thing I did with the Hobie. I thought I was recording and I wasn't. But what I'm doing is I'm setting this long mesh here. The crack actually starts about here and ends about here, but I'm adding an extra 3 to 6 inches at each end. I've already started setting this one in place. That slurry that I made earlier seems to have held this whole thing shut. This is tape. I'm gonna pull that off when I get to it, but I just wanted to get the mesh started, and yeah, it's going on pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this mesh on here, and I'll probably run tape along the edge, and then that slurry stuff that I made, melting this inside of acetone. You break off a bunch of little pieces of this plastic. I've got 2 chunks of it that were given to me by the guy I got the kayak from, and what you do is you break off little pieces of it and put it into the acetone, and while it's in the acetone, it kind of does some kind of chemical melting, and it turns back to a liquid form, and it basically becomes ABS paint. I keep saying ABS. I don't know if it's actually ABS. They call it Trilon or some weird name. It's like, you know, like kind of like these pill manufacturers make up their own words. I don't know. There's actually a Trilon, such thing as a Trilon, but that's what they call the plastic. But it's, while I'm burning it, it smells just like ABS plastic. So you got to move real slow. I don't know if you can hear that. You hear it? That's the plastic melting. You see the mesh goes into the plastic and the plastic comes out through it. I didn't really do that as much over here as I did up there, but maybe if I go a little slower it will. Yeah, I don't feel the mesh when I'm going slower. I don't feel the mesh rubbing on the iron, so I'm thinking it's actually putting the mesh further down into the plastic. And what I'm doing is I'm sticking in the middle and then working my way out. So yeah, once this is on here, I'll do a quick sanding, a light sanding rather. Yeah, I don't know how bad this stuff is for you, but I'm outside and the wind is blowing, so I'm only getting occasional little whiffs of it, but not that I'm whiffing it, but staring at this mesh, I'm gonna be seeing crooked here in a little bit. Yeah. You get the idea. So this will probably take me a couple hours to get all this done. I don't know if I mentioned that black stuff up there is residue from that stupid tape I was using. I mean, you could just use any kind of tape. The crack that was in here, I just used the tape to hold it shut with some of that melted stuff in the crack, and I banged on it. Well, that's some bitch is solid. Some biscuit. And now that it's going to have this on it, it's going to be even more solid. So I'm going to put this, and then I'm going to coat it again. So basically what I'm doing is creating another skid plate. The problem is I don't really have much access. There's a huge hatch here. Look at the size of the hatch. But it's so far back that I can't really reach in here to do anything with this. Anything I want to do with it, but yeah. So you see how slow I move. And if you're moving and you can feel the mesh sliding on your iron underneath, you're going too fast. You got to give the plastic time to melt through. Yeah, see right here, I barely feel the mesh. I shouldn't feel it at all, but what the hell's that? Oh, that's just a mark. And I'm over here working. It's starting to get dark. I'm gonna put a light. I'm gonna keep working on this. I was running around with my wife all day today. I'd rather do that than this anyway, but I'm getting to the point I think I enjoy doing the kayak repairs more than actually using the kayaks. I guess I'm kind of creative like that, I guess. But if you go to the website for Hurricane kayaks, they're showing you to use some kind of stupid glue and pieces of this, stick it on the outside, then you wind up with that edge anyway. I mean, I thought about that, putting a piece of that on here, but I don't have a piece long enough to go the length of this crack. So I'm going to do my slurry idea, and I'm going to pile it on there. I'm not pile it on, but I'm going to see if I can make a thicker slurry to where it goes on kind of like a paste, or I don't know, jelly or something. I don't know what you would call it. See, I'm extended way the hell down here. I don't need to be. I mean, the only place I really need it is right on the seam, but I guess it doesn't hurt to have the extra protection there. This is aluminum window screen. I've said this before. They sell one that they call, I don't know, dog-proof screen or heavy-duty screen, or I've got screen on that one, but that is like what do you call it? Hardware cloth. It's like, I think it's like 1/8. So all the little squares are about 1/8 of an inch. But I don't think I'd be able to shape that one the way I'm doing this. Shape it meaning being able to manipulate it to do what I want it to do. See, I melted this up here just to hold this in line where I need it to be. So if I'm not paying attention, I don't have to worry about it veering off to one side. But you can see what I'm doing. I'm actually looking through the camera because it's actually pretty dark out here. I guess the camera's compensating for the light. But alright, well, you got an idea of what I'm doing here. I'll come back once I've got more progress. Some of my videos are getting ridiculously long, and if I actually recorded, well, I think one of my first ones that I recorded was probably a couple hours. The part one, I think, is a couple hours long, and but that was a really, I mean, the crack was about the size of this crack, but it was on HDPE. It wasn't on ABS plastic. And I mean, this repair, the way I'm doing it right here, I could just leave it like this. I could probably take this out to the lake tomorrow and not worry about it leaking. What I'm going to do after I do this is I'm going to stand it with this part down and put water in it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to do that on top of something to where I can see if the water seeps out, because if it's on the ground, I might not be able to see if the water seeps out or not. Alright, well, thanks for watching. please become a subscriber. See there? Look at the plastic coming through. I mean, you can hear it. It's like a little sizzling noise. Got to move really slow. And I think I was moving a little too fast when I did this over here. Yeah, look how much prettier that looks. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I'll update you when I get about up there. I'm going to have to clean all this junk off of here. This is residue from that stupid tape I bought. Thought it was aluminum tape. It is aluminum tape, but I think it's for like air conditioning, so that it seals any cracks or holes or whatever. But there you go. Wire mesh. Looks ugly right now, but I guarantee you it's not gonna. It's probably still be. You can still see it's gonna be a repair, but it'll be a lot stronger than the Kayak was. Still be. You can. All right, just to give you an update on what I'm doing. I got to about here, and I went and got my slurry, or whatever you want to call that stuff, the acetone mixed with the ABS, and I painted it on here, and shoot, it actually looks pretty good. Yeah, it actually gives it a shiny coat. So being that I got a curve up here, I cut some slits. I could have slit here, 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 and here. And being that the Kayak goes that way and current or whatever, water is going this way, I tucked these, this one under that one, this one under that one, this one under that one. And you can see where I tacked them. Right there. And up here it had little bubbles on the strut point. So I tacked those down too. Anyway, just to give you an update of where I'm at, what's going on. And I pulled this as tight as I could, and I melted it right here too. So, and that's about where the crack ends. And that stupid glue from that tape was annoying the crap out of me. I cleaned it all off, but a little bit of it stayed under here. And when I get to it with the, like right here, it melted it. Man, that stuff stinks. But yeah, man, it's starting to look like a nice repair. This is a big chunk of that ABS that I got along with it. And you can see where I tested the mesh on here. From here, wrapped it around, and then I put, what did I put on here? I put some of that slurry on here, and then I heated it with a heat gun, and then I had this piece of metal here. It's a piece of stainless steel tubing, and I rolled it. I heated this with a heat gun, and because it was a wet surface, it started bubbling because it was still wet. And when it bubbled, I rolled that on there, waited a few seconds, heated again, and when anything that bubbled up, I rolled it down. But, and that's just as strong as the surface. I mean, it's not as shiny and pretty, but when I put the slurry on here, it's just about as shiny and pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of that on here, sand it smooth, and then coat it again. I'll probably put a piece of tape just to have a nice line, but this is more for structure than beauty. So when you're sitting in the Kayak, you can't see this. So let me get back to what I was doing here. Ouch, I just touched myself with stupid iron. Look how many times I've burned myself. I got a burn there. I got a burn there. I don't know if you'll be able to see this one, but I got a big old burn up here. Look at that. That's nasty looking. You know, you get a little complacent on what you're doing, start getting careless. I'm assuming that's what I did. Actually, what happened was I was trying to hold the camera and the heat gun at the same time, and the heat gun started to slip, and me, like a dummy, instead of just letting it fall, I tried to catch it with my arm, burned myself, and then when I jumped back, it burned me here. So I'm not a baby, just a burn. Yeah, you can actually. What's funny about this ABS is that while I'm heating it, it's not like when I'm working on HDPE. When I heat HDPE, it just stays hot for a long time. This stuff, almost as soon as I, what's this? Let me show you something. Now, if I was doing this on HDPE, it stays hot for a while. But look, it's warm to the touch, but it's not burning me. That's what's crazy about this. I actually like working with this better than working with the kayak plastic, or the plastic kayak. I mean, this is ABS plastic, but the HDPE plastic stays hot for a while. And this doesn't seem like, I mean, if it's going to get, the surface is going to get cool that quick. I know it's not heating down to the bottom, so I don't got to worry about the inside deforming or anything. What I'm doing is unlike what I was trying to do, was push the plastic away from where I'm working. I'm actually pulling it towards me, and it seems to be making a real nice finish. I'm going a little faster than I should, but I don't know if you can hear the sizzling as it's doing it. But yeah, I'm getting some progress here. So I don't know, I mentioned the ad that I put in Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, where I'm looking for kayaks, you know, your unloved, unwanted, unused, uncared for, in the way kayaks. I'd come pick them up. So some guy says, hey, I've got a canoe, needs a little work. So, of course, he doesn't say, give me this much for it or whatever. He just said that. And I said, well, what do you want for it? And his response didn't make any sense. It says heel offer, H-E-apostrophe-L offer. So I thought he either spelled hell, give me an offer, and then he sends me a picture. It's like the front half of a canoe, chopped in half. So I asked him, did you mean to say half off? And I told him, I said, depending where you're at, I'll come pick it up, because it's made out of this stuff. And I had one guy contacting me saying that he wants to repair his canoe. Or I guess it depends on what I'm going to charge him, because I've already come up with an idea of price. This repair right here, from here to here, it's about 50 bucks. And then I figured $10 an inch after that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's like another 100 bucks, right? So this repair would probably be 150 bucks. I mean, it's an $1,800 canoe, so I guess that would be worth it on this canoe. I mean, kayak. It's an $1,800 kayak. And I just figured, you know, either that or if I just quote you a price, and we'll go with that. But just to give everybody an idea of what it's going to cost, because this isn't easy. I mean, I've been out here 2 hours just for this and this. Mechanics charge you 60 bucks an hour. Shit, that's 120 bucks right there. If it was a mechanic. And you know, half of the time the mechanic is charging you, he's sitting there BSing with his buddies in the shop. But I didn't get into this to start making a profit restoring. Well, not I am in it to make a profit, but I didn't get into it to start kayak repair business. Well, I guess I did, but it's a kayak restore business where I restore a kayak and then sell it for a little over half its value. Like, this is an $1,800 kayak, so I'd have to get at least 900 bucks for this kayak for it to be worth the effort. For somebody looking for a sea kayak that's a sit on top and knows this brand, if they were looking for one, they know the cost of one. So having one that's got a little repair on it, I mean, I'm really going all out on this repair because it's just a small crack and it already sealed itself. When I put that slurry stuff or I keep calling it slurry, I don't know, that's what other people were calling it. When I put that acetone ABS mix in it and closed it up, it held. I recorded myself banging the hell out of it, and it didn't pop back open. I was trying to get it to pop back open, because if it's gonna fail, I want it to fail out here. I don't want it to fail while somebody's in the water on top of it. You know, some people, they do stupid crap. They'll take their kayak, they're by themselves, and they decide, well, I want to go fish the oil rigs, and they'll paddle all the way out there. You know, what if they bang into the oil rig? They're either going to have to cling on to the oil rig or figure something out. But alright, I just wanted to give you an update of what I did and how I did it, how I got this curve in here, and how my slurry turned out. I mean, that actually looks pretty good. If I go over it with the iron, all the little imperfections and bumps and stuff will come right off, I'm sure, because the iron heats this up pretty quick. This down here, I was actually melting plastic in place. The way I do the HDPE, I was just seeing what it would do if I just heated some plastic and blobbed it on there. And that's what this the tip right here is. And then I went over it with that mix, I don't know, paste or whatever you call it. I mean, it works as a glue too, because it held this shut long enough for me to do this repair. So yeah, old Jack says I'm the right guy for this job, because he sent me these pieces of ABS and the instructions, and they were saying something about some DevCon glue or some crap. I'm not gluing it. I want to do it. I'm going to do it right. Or at least what I think is right. So, here we go. Was that where I was at? Yeah. See, where I made these little slits, there's a little bit of an overlap. There's a bigger overlap on this one, and this one. But it doesn't matter. When you heat it up, my tips got loose. Let's see, which way am I going with the tip? This way. When you heat it up, the heat transfers from the iron onto the wire mesh, and the wire mesh just sinks into the plastic. You can see the plastic oozing through it right there. So the thickness of the mesh didn't really matter. Alright, that's enough for now. I mean, enough recording for now. I want to keep going. I'm probably going to finish this before I go inside. Alright. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, send me $1. This restoration ain't over yet. I still need to finish this one. That one's the one I already have listed, and I went back and I redid I just didn't like the way the repair looked, and I went back over the whole repair again, smoothing it out. So the cone is ready to go. This is the Perception. This is the Ocean Kayak Trident 13. That's the Perception Pescador 12. And this is the Hurricane Phoenix 160. They'll be on the market very soon. No more crack. I coated it with that mix of the piece that he sent me. I'm just cutting little chunks of it and then breaking it into little pieces and putting it in this jar with a little bit of acetone. And you see it breaks it down pretty good. Actually today when I took it out, there was no little chunks in it at all. It was all liquefied, so I painted it on here. And you see it makes a nice glossy finish. You still see through it. I'm going to sand this smooth and then coat it again, but that mesh, when I paint it on, it actually just fills it in. Right now, you can kind of feel a little bit of it. And on the other side, I've still got the stupid glue from that tape, so I don't even want to look at that. But yeah, that's a lot stronger than the original, I tell you that. And plus, I poured some of this stuff on the inside. And of course, when it gets against the plastic, it actually solders itself or melts itself through the plastic. It's some kind of liquid melting, I don't know. But that's wire mesh, and I'm rubbing my hand on it, and I'm not feeling any of it. So here's a new way of fixing what do you call it? Plastic. This is not fiberglass. It's not HDPE. It's that what do you call it? Damn it! I can't think of. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Hard plastic. This stuff. Actually, the piece that I tested, the corner that I tested with the mesh, I cut that off and threw it in there too, because I figure the acetone will eat through the plastic and melt it, and the mesh will just sit in there by itself. So I'll take the mesh out once the plastic melts. But I don't know how long that's going to take. Don't know what the chemical reaction is. But I'm going to leave it in there. And I just did this like 5-10 minutes ago, and it's already dry. I mean, I don't know if you call it dry or I don't know what you call it. I saw my sandpaper here. This is some really aggressive sandpaper. Yeah, see that? All this dark crap you see on here, that's just leftover glue from the tape. I'll be able to get that off. I'm going to sit there and rub on it for a little bit. But I'm going over this with this really aggressive sandpaper just to knock off all the high spots. And then I'm going to go over it with 240. I think I've got some 400 also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it a few times with finer and finer sandpaper. I mean, even at that, if you think about it, this is basically I just created a keel guard. So I guess if you want to find a way of making a keel guard, just use your iron, melt some plastic, or not plastic, aluminum mesh into it. Put some of this plastic into acetone to where it melts, and then just paint it back on. So I don't know how many coats it's going to take, but I am going to do whatever it takes me. Yeah, what's cool about this melting this plastic in the acetone is that the acetone melts. I mean, it evaporates almost instantly. So when you put it on here, within just, man, that feels good. Within just a few minutes, I mean, less than a minute. I mean, it's already. You can already touch it. I mean, it doesn't feel like paint, because it's not paint. It's actually plastic. I'm kind of wondering if just painting acetone on here would do anything. Yeah, that looks really good. What was that? Oh, a little piece of plastic there. I've got a orbital sander, and I think I've got some 400 grit sandpaper I can use with it. I mean, I might have finer than that. I don't even remember. It'd be nice if I had some 800 or 1000. Make this thing smooth as glass. I mean, that's basically what it is. I need to sit here and start rubbing all this glue from that tape. Do not use duct tape. I'm thinking the acetone that got under the duct tape was what caused this. It made it really adhere to the boat. But I have every confidence in this. I mean, it was broken. I mean, you don't see any of the seam anymore, because you're basically fixing the plastic with the plastic. It's not a glue. It's not some chemical somebody came up with it for patching it. It's you're actually patching it with its own material. Like I say, fix plastic with plastic, fix wood with wood, fix aluminum with aluminum. I mean, when I put mesh on the soft kayaks, like the regular kayak, regular plastic HDPE, I still feel the little edges of the mesh. I don't feel anything here. I'm sitting here wondering if I'm going to cut myself. And whenever I go over those after I sand them and run up, mess with them, they stick me. This one hasn't stuck me yet, so I'm going to give it a real good cleaning. Get as much of these little marks off of here as I can. I set that jar in the sun to see if maybe the heat of the sun would help activate it. I don't know, we'll see. There's another crack right here, but I don't think it goes all the way through the inside. I think it's just a surface crack. I'm going to stick the camera up in there in a minute and then go back and watch it. Because I'm thinking I can just probably paint some of this stuff on the inside and on the outside, and if it gets into the seams, it's gonna melt. It's gonna melt the plastic together. So, I mean, it's a liquid. I don't see why it wouldn't get into the seams. Dang it! I hate that fake stupid tape. I say just use masking tape. But if you're from Hurricane Kayaks, mix this stuff with acetone, make your own glue. I mean, I wish y'all could send me a bag of shavings. That would have worked perfect, because the shavings would probably activate with the acetone way quicker than the little chunks will. Because I noticed the chunks start to melt and then they start sticking together. So you got to sit there with a screwdriver poking at them to get them away from each other. I just figured the little chunks have more surface that's going to melt. Anyway. Yeah, this looks great. Feels good, looks good, strong. I mean, there's got to be somebody thought that this is going to crack, because at the manufacturer they run a bead of something in here. I don't know what it is, but when you touch it, it feels like I don't know, silicone or thick hard rubber or something. But there's somebody put something in there with a caulking gun, runs a line of that on the inside. But I'm thinking, if you're going to do that, you should put a little bit thicker bead, because the crack went from here all the way down to here, and it was like, actually it was kind of on the side a little bit. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll come back once my mix is activated, because I think I've got this sanded far enough. But all I use is this wire mesh and a Weller wood burning, just a flat one. Comes with a whole bunch of tips, but this is the only one I really use for anything. And what's cool about this stuff is, as you're melting it, it like instantly cools. Right after you melt it, you can put your hand on it. It's just warm to the touch. You put your hand on the HDPE stuff, and yeah, you're going to get a blister. Burn blister. Thanks for watching. Yeah, you can see the shine on it from where I put the stuff in there. And after 2 or 3 coats, it's probably going to look just like this. I mean, it's not going to be as smooth and pretty as this, but it'll be close, because I'm going to go over it. I'm going to go over it with different grains of sand. What do you call it? Different grits of sandpaper. But I'm just expecting one of these little hairs on this aluminum mesh to come up and bite me, and it's like I'm trying to get poked. But nothing. I'm rubbing on both sides, and oh, there's a little bit right there. So that's the only place right there. Well, my heat gun's not on, so there you go. And like I said, these marks back here, these are just marks from the stupid tape that I used. Don't use air conditioning duct tape, the one that's got the aluminum backing on it. That's what that stuff is that I used. I wanted to just use aluminum tape. I mean, actually, I just needed some tape, and that was what I had handy. Best bet, I think, would just be masking tape. Just mask the heck out of it to hold your crack shut. But this stuff actually feels like I could have sworn it's called Rhino Patch. It's a mesh tape that's got this gooey backing on it, exactly like this tape has. It's a gooey backing, and when you push it onto, you can use it on inflatables. You can use it on. I've used it on an aluminum boat that had a little poke hole in it. I left it on there for a year. Didn't even bother having it welded. Completely forgot about it, and then when I remembered, I'd already sold the boat. But I pointed it out to him and told him there's a little patch right there. A little trick. Yeah, that's the only spot right there. I can feel the edge. Right there. And I'm just going to heat the heat gun and rub on it, and it's going to disappear. And what's cool about this stuff is after you paint it on, you can still use the heat gun to smooth it out. Because it's the same stuff. Did I mention it's the same stuff? It's the same stuff. I know I said thanks for watching, and we're still here. Yeah. Look, I mean, I could use that right now. Whatever's come off of that. Look, I mean, alright, I've gone over the whole thing with the mesh. I use the iron to melt the mesh into the plastic. I put a coat of my acetone ABS plastic mix on it, and what's funny is that as soon as that acetone evaporates, this is already dry to the touch, and the coating on it is the same stuff. So got a crack too? I think it is. So I don't know. I think this thing got impacted on the front because it had a crack from here all the way down to here. But I went over the whole thing. So basically, I'm just creating a skid plate, and I sanded it with some really coarse sandpaper, and then I sanded it with 240. I'm going to go inside and get my orbital sander and probably do it again with 300 and 400 grit. If I have a higher grit than that, I'm going to use that too. But after a few coats of this, that's probably going to... All these marks you see here is the stupid tape that I used. Left a residue behind. But, so, this stuff works. So if you work for Hurricane Kayaks, take some of your plastic, the shavings, put it into a jar with some acetone, put that inside the crack and hold it shut, and then it worked great, because after I did that, I beat the heck out of it, and it didn't pop open. But just to be safe, I added a wire mesh over it, and then coated it again with the plastic. The beginning here, I actually heated plastic, melted it onto the surface like I do with the HDPE kayaks. But then painting it on with that slurry stuff, this is what it looks like. You put a little bit of acetone and some of that plastic in a jar, you can see the little pieces in there. Look, I can already use this white stuff that's in here. Looks like milk, but look at the shiny surface it leaves. And what's funny was that when I painted this onto the mesh, it just went right into the mesh and all the voids. And this is wire mesh, and look, I'm rubbing my hand all over it. If I do that on one of those, it pokes me every time. So whatever I'm doing here is working. I got another little crack on the side I got to work on, but I'm going to finish this one first. Again, if you work for Hurricane, try it. Mix some of the shavings from this with acetone, and the more of this you put in, the thicker it is. So you can actually make it like a a paint or make it thicker like a paste, because I poured some of this on the inside too, and it looks like it grabbed on the inside. I don't know if we'll be able to see it or not, but let's put the camera down. That black line is the stuff. That black line you saw in there is the stuff that Hurricane puts in there. So obviously somebody had the forethought that this was a possibility of cracking. But I think you should put that bead a little thicker, maybe as thick as that hose. Thanks for watching. Alright, we're about to assess this crack here through the inside. So let's see what we got. I wonder what this thing is first. Are you okay? Are you recording? Yeah. Kind of stupid. Alright, whatever you saw in there, it's the opposite of that. Alright, here's how I decided to fix this crack. The crack goes from here down to here, splits off and goes up there. Goes up and over to here. This one goes like this and down to here. So I'm putting wire mesh on it, and you see the tape, so you know I'm going to do my slurry thing. So what I'm doing is the only difference is doing this at night in the cold in the day is it gets out a lot quicker. So I got to move just a little bit faster. Yep, I've already got this tacked in, I got this tacked in, I got this tacked in. I've gone over the crack. And on the inside, where'd that hole go? On the inside, I need to put another piece, but where the hell's the entrance? Oh, there it is. Put some aluminum tape on the inside along here. That tape's got like a rubbery glue backing on it. It's exactly the same stuff I used to use for patching everything. It had a mesh like this with that glue backing on it. This is basically the same thing, but it has aluminum on it. So that's what I'm using just as a sealer on the inside, and I'm sealing the outside with plastic. So before this thing gets to the water, it's going to be tested. So, but when you watch videos of somebody doing stuff, the majority of those videos of people patching kayaks, it's their first time, and they're recording it, and it's obvious. You can hear them guessing as they're going along, but I'm not guessing. I knew exactly what I was going to do here. I think the previous guy was going to cut this whole thing out and try to put the whole piece in. I'm assuming, I don't know. But he had it drawn out and he'd already heated the plastic to this shape. I'm not doing that. There's going to be a patch here. It's an obvious patch. But this is going to be stronger than the original, so. Here we go. But this is good. Had to turn the boat around to get the sun out of my face, but all the mesh is melted in. See where I went a little too slow right there, but now I'm going to put my the juice on it. What's funny is that the brush turns hard like plastic, but as soon as I dip it back in there, it softens back up again. So, let's see if you can see what I'm doing. I mean, this slurry is not all done yet, mixed, but if I rub the brush on the surface of the pieces that are in there, plenty of that stuff comes off. So. Yeah, I can feel it soaking into the mesh. Where the mesh is still exposed, strings it up, holds on to it. So basically I'm just filling it with plastic. I'm not trying to make this part pretty, I'm just trying to fill it in. It's the final surface that really counts. See, that's where the hole was drilled right there. A few coats of this, and this will be back. I mean, it's actually going to be thicker than the original, but a little ball in there. And almost as soon as I put it on, it dries. This acetone evaporates really fast. I hear a rooster. Yeah, see, there's a little gap right here, and as I'm going over it several times, it's actually filling in. Like I said, this is just liquefied ABS plastic. So I'm basically painting on the same stuff that the kayak's made of. That little ball, I left that little ball there, look, it started getting hard. Put that where I need it. somebody's birthday in the distance. I can hear a bunch of people blowing a horn. I mean, almost as soon as I put it on, it's drying. So look how thick it's already on there. I'm just filling in all the little mesh. I can still see the shape of the mesh. I'm just filling it in and it's holding it. I'm normally not this sloppy of a painter, but I'm not actually painting, I'm just filling it in. It's going to be sanded down so the surface doesn't really matter. It just needs to be thicker in certain spots. See, all of the burn spots are disappearing because I'm coating them. They're not burn spots, they're just hot spots. But hey, hold it down. Yep, the mesh is gone right there. There was a gap right there, a thick indent right there with mesh. Same thing right here. There's a bunch of mesh showing. As long as I put this on and wait a few seconds, it's like the acetone just evaporates really fast. Needs a little thicker right here. Thickening. Oh shoot, I just realized. Oh, that's my GPS. It's sitting in the sun. And it's on. My kayak GPS. I went to the flea market today. My kayak has a Lowrance Elite 4 DSI. And there was some guy that had an Elite 5 DSI, but it was just a head unit. Last time when he went for it, he said $45. So I said, you got the wires for it? He said, no, I don't have the wires for it. I was like, I said, it's not really worth all that without the wires. And of course he's like, well, how much you give me for it? How much you give me for it? So I really lowballed him. I said, I'll give you $10 for it. He said, no. I said, well, I don't even know if it works. I'm pretty sure it works. Yeah, at the flea market, pretty sure it works means take a chance. Anyway, so I walked off, grabbed my phone and looked it up. It says it's a $600, $700, $800 unit. At least that's what the phone said. I don't know if it's actually still worth that much. But it's like the top of the line of the Lowrance DS5. Lowrance Elite 5 DSi. There's 3 different versions of it, and this is like the top of the line of the 3. At least that's what the video I watched said. It said there was an X and another one, and then the one that just says DSi by itself. And I said that one has the features of all the other 2 and a few more. It's got navigation, it's got the marine navigation on it, and all that. Anyway, it's over there sitting in the sun in the on position. So, alright, I'm out of this stuff, so this is all I can do for now. And I mean, within just a couple minutes I can start sanding this. My stuff is gone. So I'm going to add a little more acetone in here. Watch this. Look. I just painted all that on. Look. That's actually from something else, but yeah, that's how quick that stuff dries. Pretty cool. So I've actually, this is plastic on top of my mesh without even having to melt it. I mean, I did melt it, but I chemically melted it. But I tell you, somebody over at Hurricane needs to pay attention, because this is a way better way of patching it than putting big chunks on, because that's what the square is. The guy I got the kayak and the repair kit from, the repair kit was just a piece of paper with telling you what to go buy to do it, and I'm not going to put glue on here. I'm going to patch it. I'm going to patch it right. So anyway, this kayak is patched. For all intents and purposes, this kayak is patched. I need to put another piece of that tape that I put on the inside, the air conditioning duct tape with the aluminum on the back. I want to put a piece going up here, and actually I'll probably just put a piece going across, and that's it. Found another hairline crack in the back of the boat right here, and I've already patched it. I didn't want to bore you with the details of how I do it, because I've already done it. But it's an extra skid plate now. Just need to finish this one with a couple more coats. And then there was a couple of little dings on here, and I heated over them. I need to do this one again, and then just coat them with a little bit of a liquid plastic. That's what I'm calling it now, liquid plastic. Hell, looks like it's working pretty damn good. As soon as I put it on, it's like instant hard, and it's made of the same stuff. So I don't know how many times I've said it, but I'll say it again. Made of the same stuff that kayak's made of.